Hey guys, Kurt from Time Machine Transport. I know I look a fright. My hair is all messed up. And Mr. Clyde, what's up, Clyde? Say right turn, Clyde. Huh? Clyde is an emotional eater. Excuse my messy house. He's like an infant. But anyways, he is emotional eater. When he's nervous, he doesn't eat. When he's sad, he doesn't eat. And he's a creature of habit, man. He's not eating. He's eating treats, but that's about it. Anyways, that's not what the video is about. But if you guys know, Clyde is my little boy. He's like my son. Anyways, I got him out for 5 days. I'm gonna teach you guys. So I was unplugged last night, and then early this morning. I went from Iowa, Meridian, I don't think it's, whatever. From there over to in the Nebraska before the scales. And I got to thinking, I'm like, I have unplugged. I don't like to. And I actually, when I was over in Utah, the cop actually asked me, he's like, why are you unplugged? So they're they're catching on to the, because when you're in the ELD for Keep Trucking, if you're plugged in, your line's green. If you're manually putting in, and I've done 3 videos on this, how the unplugged ELD, just if you're putting it in manual, it's a blue line, not a green line. And the cop asked me, he's like, why are you unplugged? I said, I've been having problems with my ELD, which I was. He says, well, you're immediately supposed to go to papers. And it was over a week. I guess you have 1 week to get back to your place of origin, or where you're located, Midwest, East Coast, West Coast, whatever. And then you're supposed to get your ELD fixed, which I hadn't, but he was all right. But because he went and he grabbed his little computer and started doing all the math for the miles. So I'm going to show you guys something. So I like to do, I've been intentionally doing between 64 and 66 on my miles per hour. And I did that intentionally because I want to show you guys something. So all these guys and gals, I don't really see many gals. I have seen some women flying past me, but I like to keep it at 65. And like I said, I'm not afraid to drive fast. I've driven fast a lot. The thing is it's you're paying way more money in fuel. It's more wear and tear on your equipment, believe it or not. And if you're hammered down doing 75, if you're in Nebraska, Wyoming, and Arizona, if you're New Mexico, if you're doing 75, 80 miles an hour all day, every day, trust me, it takes a toll on you, man. It really does. It stresses you out. And I know that because I've driven that fast before, because we're not governed. And it's hectic, man. It's chaotic. You get burnt out, man, from doing that shit day in and day out. Being ungoverned and having to use it when you need it, it's great. It's awesome. But when you're doing it every single day, man, it's tiresome. It truly is tiresome. And I see these guys just flying by me. And literally, I just saw 3 or 4 trucks. I mean, multiple times, 3 or 4 times passing me. I'm like, how many times are you stopping? Anyways, I was over by North Platte, Nebraska. I'm at the port of entry in Wyoming. I just over here by Cheyenne. And this one guy, when I was by North Platte, he passed me, flatbed. And he passed me, and then I wasn't paying attention. And literally, I went by the exit, and 3 minutes later, the guy's passing me up again. I'm like, dude, what's the point? So I'm going to show you guys, because I've been thinking about this, and I don't like to unplug. And I'm saying to myself, I'm like, well, Clyde and I were actually talking, right, Clyde? He said, yeah, Daddy. He said, you should do a video on this. So Clyde and I were talking. He talks, just not on camera. And he says, Daddy, you should do a video on this. So I'm thinking to myself, because you can manually put your destination or your start point and your finish point for the day. And I'm saying to myself, shit, if you can do that, all you got, I mean, yeah, you still have to legally drive for 11 hours, right? Because it's a green line. However, I'm going to show you guys how you can, one, save money on fuel, two, still do 750 miles if you're doing 65 miles an hour. People, what? You can't do that. It's impossible. It is possible, and I'm going to show you. I'm just saying, wink, wink, that I'm not doing, well, actually I am going to do it for this purpose, but this one time, wink, right? So I'm going to help you guys out. It's just some simple math, and you are going to have to unplug, but for a very, very small duration. All right, now I'm going to put the camera on 3-part video. All right, so when you can see, I went, so today is the 19th. Yesterday was my brother's birthday, so it's the 19th, I believe. Come on now. Yep, the 19th. Okay, I'm going to show you guys. So yesterday, I picked up, I actually deadheaded almost 1,100 miles from Johnstown, Colorado to Kenosha, Wisconsin on Friday because there was no loads going on. I'm not putting that heavy shit on my trailer. I'm a man of principle, man. And just so you know, so I'm not talking shit. So Friday, you can see, actually, no, I actually pushed it back, said I was Thursday, because I was actually unplugged. So, just so you guys know, I'm a man of principle. See, that's where you're all unplugged, right? You're putting it in manually. So, I said I was in Johnstown, and I began driving in Johnstown at 12:33, right there. That's when I started driving, and I had to do that because we had a sub bowl for some people. My brother Stevie K and his girl Roz. What's up, brother? I love you. And I inputted everything, and as you can see, my form, I had roofing shingles on when I delivered, and that was when I delivered over in Denver, or actually Fort Collins, not Denver. Anyways, you can see here, I actually went to my drive time on Friday. Clyde, stop whining. So that was just regular, all sleep birth, whatever. And I said that's where I went. So anyway, so I actually did drive. And then Saturday morning, I ended up in Kenosha, Wisconsin. I deadheaded almost 1,100 miles. And as you can see, Kenosha, Wisconsin, and there's my actual plug-in, all right? And then I went up into off-duty because I was home for the weekend. And then yesterday, I got up early, like 3:30, and then, so I actually said I was in Hager City. So I actually unplugged. I said that I actually went Sunday night instead of that. So that's plugged in. That is not plugged in. All right, and you do not want to do that because DOT's really getting keen on people unplugging. So this is what you got to do. You can still do your 750 miles for the day without stressing yourself out, all the extra fuel money you're going to be spending. I mean, I'm saving hundreds of dollars a week by doing 65 miles an hour, okay? And I'm still, so I have 453 miles to my delivery in Salt Lake City. And there's no way I'm going to be able to make it to Little America, Wyoming. I only have about 3 hours and 45 minutes left. And I'm by Cheyenne. So there's no way I can legally make that, okay? So I'm going to show you what you got to do. It's simple math. Come on now. It's simple math. So my form, there's my distance, 459 miles, okay? So what you do is you take 459 miles divided by 7.15, and that shows you my miles per hour right there. So I'm literally doing 64 miles an hour. I know, and I'm seeing truck after truck after truck passing me, right? I'm okay with that. But I'm still gonna make it look like I did 75 miles an hour, okay? And this is how you do that. So, darn it, I did this before I actually did this. So it was 459 miles. Now, I'm gonna put you on pause. I'm gonna figure out so at 7.5, so you can see that's my miles per hour, 64, a little over, which that's what I'm doing intentionally. So at 459, or no, I'm sorry, at 70, I'll just say 73 miles for a safe bet. I mean, here it's 75 to 80 in Wyoming. But I'm going to say 73. If I was doing 73 miles an hour for 7.515 miles, I should have 521 miles, right? So now I'm going to take 521 miles, almost, so we'll just say 522. 522. And we're going to subtract 459 equals. So I should be 63 miles further down the road, west, right? So what you're going to want to do is, now I'm on my half-hour break. You can either, one, unplug and drive your half-hour break without sitting here for a half hour, but I'm going to sit here for a half hour because I got to walk Mr. Clyde and make us something to eat. So I'm going to actually sit for my half hour. So I got to be 63 miles down the road further than I am, right? So it says that I'm actually, and I'm going to do, like I said, it's going to be in 3 parts. So I'm right here. I'm right near Cheyenne. I don't know why it comes up like that, but I can manually change where I'm at. Okay? I can manually change that. So instead of saying that I'm here, I'm going to say Cheyenne. Cheyenne. I believe that's how you spell it. Anyways, and then I'm going to do. All right. See how you can just change it to whatever you want. Okay. Ah, shit, darn it. Why did it do that? All right, so I'm actually going to put in, so I'm going to find out what is 63 miles down the road. I'm going to look on my atlas and I'm going to actually put that in there. Like I said, it's going to be a 3-part video, so I can actually change this. Like I said, I could change it. I wouldn't want to obviously do Cheyenne just by itself. You want to do, is it Cheyenne 2 ends? Or what is it? Cheyenne. Anyways, I'm going to find out. I'm an idiot. Anyways, I'm actually going to change this. And actually, you got to make sure everything is spelled correctly with a capital. Make sure your spelling is correct first before you do this. And then your state, make sure that you're Cheyenne, Wyoming. Okay, so now I'm just gonna save it. All right. So I'm gonna look, and actually, when I see what's 63 miles down the road I'm gonna look where I'm at exactly here, and I'm gonna put that that's where I'm gonna say I actually did my 8-hour break. All right, because I was coming up on my 8-hour break. I did my pre-trip, came out of the bunk at 11:17, so that means that at 7:17 or before I needed to come in for my half-hour break, right? So you can control all this stuff, and you can make up for that 64 miles an hour. Now I should be an hour down the road further than I am, but I'm not spending the fuel. And when I'm unplugged on my ELD, when I'm unplugged, those miles don't get logged for Ifta. So not only are you saving your money in your fuel expense by just doing 64, 65, you're also not logging, could be 60, 70, 100 miles in the day for your Ifta, because your ELD only logs every state's miles when you're plugged in. So now if you're unplugged, if you're doing 64, 65, which is way safer, yeah, you're going to have to drive a little bit further or a little bit longer in your day, but who cares, right? I can now drive through my half-hour break, and once I get to my 11 hours on my drive, right, I unplug, and now I can make up that difference, and then I can manually put it in my ELD that I started here, did my break here, and I'm going to show you guys on part 2 how it works, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put you on pause. And like I said, we're not going to drive through our half-hour break, because Mr. Clyde and we got to go for a walk, and I got to mix him some food. But if I wanted to, all I'd have to do is stop, set the brake, unplug my ELD, and then start driving again. But make sure you log those miles. So in a half hour, if I'm doing 73 miles an hour, I should be doing about 36, 37 miles in that half hour. So now I just drove through my break. And then you stop in a half hour. You're going to have to stop, set your brake, and then plug your ELD back in, and then continue to drive. Now you just made up your 37, half of your hour, okay, that you have been going slow, which is safer. You're saving your money and fuel, and it's less wear and tear on your body and on your equipment. And then when you get a half hour down the road, like I said, you plug back in, and you just manually put it in where you did your half hour break, okay? You can manually override your stuff, so you're still plugged in if you go across the scale, but you can drive further than you're doing 65 miles an hour. So I'm going to show you guys in part 2 how this works, all right? Please like and subscribe to the channel. Ciao.